thanks for joining us on another edition of Health Options. I am Rabi Abdallah. Welcome to the program. The world is experiencing rapid population aging alongside unprecedented globalization, urbanization, and migration. While countries in Africa are relatively young in terms of population aging, the impact of social and economic instability presents real challenges for current and future generations of older persons across the region. Older persons are often perceived as burdensome, yet in many less developed countries, they are significant and sustained contributors to their family and the broader community. Hence the need for the commitment to creating solutions to provide health and social services so that older people can be supported to remain in the community. As this week's edition of Health Options takes a look at the health dimensions of aging, how do we align health systems to primary, acute and long-term care needs of older persons and other concerns as we take up the topic? You're watching Health Options and we're taking a look at the health dimensions of aging. Joining me in the studio to put the topic in perspective is Dr. Ogugua Osiobu. She is consultant geriatrician and head geriatric unit, National Hospital Abuja. Welcome to Health Options, Dr. Osiobu.
Thank you for having me, Rabi.
It's really good to have you in our studio.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know, aging is a topic that really gets me excited each time, it's, brought to the fore. And I know you are a geriatrician, so you are just in a better position to just let us into all we need to know about aging, especially where the health dimension is concerned. We say so much about older persons, and there seems not to be anything in store in terms of provision for their continuous well-being, even as they age. Let's take it from there. Why is that so in this part of the world? It's not even in this part of the world, even the African continent.
Right. As we age, there are peculiar issues that, that older persons encounter regarding their health. Because what happens is, as we get older, our major organs, our tissues,
and the immunity drops.
Right. Yes. They reduce in their physiological capacity, or what you want to call intrinsic capacity. So your heart is not as strong as it was at 40. Your kidneys, your liver, they all dwindle in function. A concept that we describe as homeostenosis. We don't all age the same way. So if you look at older persons, they're not a homogeneous group. They're quite heterogeneous. There are those that are still very functional, and there are those that are at the other end where they're so frail, they require assistance for everything. Why is that so? Multiple reasons. Your genes. What kind of genes did you acquire from your parents? Did you acquire the genes of longevity, so you find such people living longer? The environment. What kind of environment did you live in? So did you live with your grandparents or even your parents who imbibed practices such as the use of herbal medications? Rather than go to a hospital when you have an issue, they use herbal medications. And those herbal medications, over the years, hurt your kidneys, hurt your liver. So those organs age faster than it would have done if you hadn't imbibed in those practices. Did you live in an environment where your parents did not believe in immunization? So you were not immunized against all the different diseases that could actually make you live a healthier life as you aged. So that's another aspect. So what was the environment? When we also look at environment, what kind of environment did you put your body in? Are you a chronic smoker? Did you use alcohol in excess? And were you such that you didn't go to a hospital when you were having concerns? I hear people talk about
lifestyle.
Lifestyle,
yeah.
Exactly. So what was your lifestyle as you were growing older? What were your habits for food? Were you sedentary, so you were not involved in physical activity? And we know all those bring on lifestyle diseases like hypertension, diabetes, abnormal cholesterol, risk of stroke. So these are some of the determinants of health as we age.
Okay, you know, like you rightly said at the beginning, they are a heterogeneous group.
Very heterogeneous.
So you find some who are having it easy, others are not.
Right.
But notwithstanding, there should be a provision for this category of people, whether they've done this or that. So do we have that in place?
So in the field of geriatrics, it's multidisciplinary. It's not just the doctor. You need to also have pharmacists who are skilled in the issues of older persons. You need to have nurses who are skilled. You need to have physiotherapists who are skilled, because these are all the different experts that come into play as we care for older persons because of their multiple issues. So we talk about the giants of geriatrics. And these are particular syndromes that we know impact on quality of life for older adults. We also talk about 5 M's of geriatrics. So I'm going to talk about those two, and they will sort of bring out the common things regarding the care of older persons. So those giants, there are 4 of them. Sensory impairment, which will be visual, sight failure, hearing failure. So that's one category. And really, visual failure could just come from as simple as a cataract. But because sometimes we attribute every medical condition in the older person to just the age. So somebody will say, oh, Mama is old, so that's why she can't see. But she can't see because there's a condition that we can actually intervene upon. But if you leave Mama at home that she can't see, then that cataract would never be discovered and treated or removed so she can now see. So we must not attribute everything about aging to, so you're old, so you get a disease and it's okay and we'll let you be.
It's normal.
Right. Yeah. The older person should also get a right to health care like any other person, in the society. So that's sensory impairment. The same thing, hearing. It could be a huge collection of wax that is impairing the hearing. But if you don't bring her to the hospital and we take a look and we, dissolve the wax and she can hear again, that she will remain there. Her interaction with other people will be limited because of this hearing, and that impacts on her quality of life. The other categories, joint and mobility issues. They have a lot of arthritis, pains.
Arthritis.
Yes. And the arthritis can sometimes be disabling. Some are so severe that the joints become something else. They have knock knees or they have bow knees and they are not able to move. And what does that do? It increases their risk for falling. And what happens? You fall, God forbid, it's a bleed in the brain or a fracture. And all those really make recovery and make them more dependent going forward. So we also like to look at such issues in them.
Okay.
And there are issues like dementia, delirium, which is an acute confusion. They get really, and multiple things contribute to that.
Talking about dementia, some have been mistaken for witches just because, they find themselves afflicted with such condition.
Right. So that's another big giant that we talk about in geriatrics. And then the 4th category is incontinence, especially of urine. And, it's a quality of life issue. Some, because of this incontinence, decide not to leave their homes because they are, it's embarrassing that you're out there somewhere at a social event. Right. But again, if you leave such people at home without bringing them to the hospital, to a proper person to assess them and manage it, you've limited their interaction with the society.
So in the face of all this, how do we align the health system for primary, care and long-term needs of older persons in our society?
So when we look at all of these issues, we need to have a critical mass of people who have the knowledge, the skills in dealing with these issues. So we need trained doctors. Right now we only have about 7 geriatricians in the country. And we think we might have about 9 million Nigerians over the age of 60. So if you do the maths,
that's a huge deficit.
Yeah, it is a huge deficit. We need pharmacists who are trained in the area of dealing with medication, adverse reactions to medications in older persons. We need nurses, physiotherapists. So there's a deficit, there's a huge gap in all of these disciplines that we require to take care of our older persons. At the primary care level, we need primary health care centers that are age-friendly. And what do I mean by that? The design of the primary health care center should be such that whether I'm an old woman who is using a wheelchair or a walking frame or a cane, I should have a ramp access to such a primary health care center, which means you shouldn't have a gutter that there's even no culvert to go across it. So the design, there should be appropriate lighting, there should be appropriate signage so that I know where I'm going. As much as possible, the area where older persons will be taken care of in such centers should be on the ground floor, so you're not having to have them have to meander across the steps.
Okay, let's take a look at policy, in-country policies. For instance, I know even among civil servants, by the time they retire, they attain at age 60 or, about that. All these ailments you had highlighted earlier on, still, tend to crop up. And these are people that will be needing that care. And out-of-pocket expenses, is what we're talking about. How do we incorporates the need of such people as things are at the moment?
Right, it's quite unfortunate that, when people retire, so if you were in formal employment with the government, you're enrolled with the National Health Insurance Scheme, but once you turn 60 and you're retired, that coverage falls off. So there must be a way to roll on the healthcare coverage without a gap. Right now, there is a platform called the Voluntary Contribution Track with the NHIS, so we can roll our retirees onto that platform and to continue to enjoy the same benefit. It's an annual premium of 15,000 naira. I'm sure a lot of people will be willing and happy to pay that rather than spend multiples of that on their drugs and their tests on an annual basis. So that will be a starting point. Really, what would be ideal is that we give them some discounted benefit for healthcare. Our under fives enjoy free healthcare. Can we do the same for, even if it's not, if we can't, accommodate all the 60s and above, can we start that from 70? But from 60 to 70, still give them some kind of discount. Could it be 50% of what other people pay? Because they have multiple issues, hypertension, diabetes, osteoarthritis. In the same one person, they might have suffered a stroke. And they're, requiring 30, 50,000 naira a month. And this is someone who has retired. But move forward or move on to their counterparts who didn't even have any formal employment and are completely reliant on family members. The same family members, especially in this current economic climes, are trying to survive, manage their own family members, wife and children, or husband and children, as the case may be. But then there's mama and papa on the other side that they also have to cater for. So if we really can get the universal health coverage implemented, I know there's been a lot of talk about it. If we can get it implemented and to make sure that we also cover older adults, it would really go a long way in reducing the catastrophic out-of-pocket spending.
The stakeholders group on aging, conference held in Abuja is the very first in Africa. Right. What are some of the positive fallouts should we look forward to that could change the narrative of what obtains at the moment where care of the older person is concerned?
Right, so it was interesting to find that some countries are already going ahead, or they're doing a lot more than others. Mauritius is one of those. Senegal is one of those where they have initiatives and programs in place to take care of their older adults. So the experience sharing was good, that countries like Nigeria can start emulating what is happening in these countries already. There's an Agenda 2063 from the AU, making sure that older adults are included in the plans and implementations of the system Sustainable Development Goals.
Thank you so much, Dr. Osiobu, for coming on Health Options today.
Thank you very much for having me, Rabi.
How can I improve my eyesight naturally? Which fruits are good for eyes? What can you eat to improve your eyesight? Which is the best vitamins for eyes? Answers to these and more as we take our health tips on eye care.
Just like every part of the body, the eye is a very important component of the body. We say it's the window to your soul. It's actually a window to the whole body. You can see a lot of ailments from the eye. And if the eye goes out, it looks like light has gone out of your life. So it's important to care for your eyes. We say it's the most priceless possession you have. And there are many things we do that put us at risk of losing vision. The eyes were made a pair that's supposed to last you a lifetime. But due to carelessness or some behaviors, we lose vision early in life. The first thing that one must do for their eyes is a regular eye check. It's more important than any other thing you can do for your eyes. As a child, you can do once in 2 years, that's fine. But when you're reaching age 40, a yearly eye check is important because most of the blinding eye diseases do not have symptoms. They sneak in on you and take vision away. And in our own local environment, we have a lot of hazardous ways of caring for our eyes, passed down to us generations after generations. So we'll have to look at those things and discourage them. Like we're talking about conjunctivitis now. Conjunctivitis has been with us for as long as we can remember. Our conjunctivitis, popularly known as Apollo, as a matter of fact, is in the air right now and is going around. Conjunctivitis on its own is a very simple infection that can be taken care of properly. But it spreads very easily. So it moves from person to person by contact. The first thing to care for Apollo, or to make sure that you don't spread it, is to keep away from somebody who already has it. And a regular hand wash will do a whole lot. A regular face wash is for a child, even for adults. You wash the face regularly, wash the hands regularly, wash pillowcases regularly in disinfectant. Disinfect around the place. It's an infection. It can spread. All you need to do is to contain the infection so that it doesn't spread from place to place. But now, what do we see in our environment? We have people put urine in the eyes. We have people put breast milk. We have people, I've even heard somebody put onion and all sorts of things. I've even heard somebody say they put pepper soup spices. And why would you do a thing like that? And when these things are done, they compound the ordinary simple infection that would have gone away in a few days if you simply kept the eyes clean. All you need in infections like Apollo is to keep the environment and the eyes clean. That's what you need to do. For Apollo, it's not just keeping clean we need. You also need medication from the appropriate quarters. Go to a clinic, an eye clinic, and get appropriate medication. Most times the doctor will give you a simple antibiotics if it's a bacteria infecting, but sometimes we have a virus infecting. Each of them takes a time to go away. If it's a bacterial infection, it may take a fewer days, but when you have a virus infection, it may take a little longer. And your doctor will know which is which and allay your fears so that you're not panicked. And once you start medication, the tendency to spread is curbed. So you need to do the medication and not put those remedies that we're not sure what they can do to the eyes. And conjunctivitis on the nose cannot blind an eye. But by the time you put onion or pepper or urine, those things have corrosive things that can now corrode the cornea. And if the cornea is corroded and gets infection, that can blind an eye. And now, it's not the Apollo that is blinding the eye. It is the medication or whatever you've put in it that's blinding the eye. So we need people to know that Apollo, sometimes it spreads. It comes as an epidemic. When that happens, the best thing you should do is keep environments clean and regular hand wash. That's what we should do.
Where does the use of glasses come in terms of using them as protective means of protecting the dust and some other harmful substances in the air that could harm our eyes? Where does the use of glasses, and which glasses should one not use and which one should we use?
There are really a lot of myths about glasses, particularly in our country, Nigeria. A lot of people need glasses for different reasons. Each person has a reason why they need to wear glasses, but basically everybody needs to wear some form of protection from the ultraviolet rays of the sun. Ultraviolet rays, yes, the sun is good for us, but there are some parts of it that are harmful to the eyes, and we need to shut that part out. And you need sunglasses to do that. So in our nation, where we have a lot of sunlight, everybody should actually have a pair of sunglasses if you have to be outdoor. But it's not just a piece of plastic that you buy in the market and wear. There are sunglasses that cut out, they call them UV protections. They cut out at least 90 to 99% of ultraviolet rays that are harmful to the eyes. And that's what we should wear. When your glasses are made now, most glasses, we have incorporated in them UV protection. So while you're wearing glasses, whether it's for short-sightedness or for long-sightedness, you still need ultraviolet rays protection to protect the eye from getting damaged from things like cataract. Cataract means opacification of the lens and making vision blurred and even sometimes completely blind. And it also helps in protecting the macula. The macula is the part that has all the best vision in your eyes, and ultraviolet rays are not good for the macula. So you need to protect them. But these parts are not parts you see. It's not like your eye is turning red and somebody says, oh, your eyes are red. It's a part that nobody sees and you don't even know anything is happening. So all you have to do is protection as much as possible. You protect the eyes from all the harmful rays, and even from the rays from your computers, from your gadgets. There are some rays that you need to protect your eyes from. Generally, a healthy diet is good for the whole body, and so it's good for the eye. But the eye has particular affiliations. That the eye needs a lot of beta-carotene, which is necessary in the processing of vitamin A in the body. And vitamin A is very useful for night vision. The eye also needs lutein and zeaxanthin. Lutein and zeaxanthin, these are vitamins that are good for the body, for the eye especially, and you can find that in the egg. And the egg, you need both the yolk and the egg white, but most of the vitamins and nutrients are in the egg white, unlike what people think that is the yolk that contains most of it. The eye also needs a lot of zinc, and zinc can be found in beef. Funny enough, we have told that beef is not good, but you can get a lot of zinc from beef. You can also get beef from chicken and other lean meat, but it's more in beef than in chicken. And omega-3 oil that we find in fish is very good for the eye. A carrot is a very essential food for the eye because it contains a lot of beta-carotene, which is necessary in processing vitamin A in the body. Well, the eyes are nature's gift to man, and it's supposed to last you a lifetime. And it's built to last a lifetime. To make that happen, you'll need to check your eyes once every year, once you're above the age of 40, to find out if there are any things creeping in. A healthy diet, a lot of water. The body needs water, and the eye also needs it. General clean habits. Rubbing your eyes, please don't rub so often, and keep it, if you must rub or touch, let it be with clean hands.
Eyes Eyes are one of the most complex organs in our body. We rely on our eyes to navigate and understand the world around us. That's why protecting your eyes is so important. And it's on that note that we wrap up this edition of Health Options. You can go to our YouTube channel to watch the upload of these and other episodes. Email us for your comments and contributions at healthoptions@nta.gov.ng. My name is Rabi Abdullah. Thanks for watching.